Okay, the recording is getting started. In the meantime, I'll share my screen. Quick check. Are you able to see my screen?
No.
Not yet. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Now,
yes, yes.
great. So, welcome everyone to the day 5 of our Aim for Agentforce initiatives, and thank you so much for being here from day one. There are few who joined from day two, and there are many who have joined from day one. So, thank you so much, each one of you, for being so attentive, interactive, and patiently learning this entire things that we are sharing through Agentforce initiative. Now, as you all know that. Every learning deserves some reward. So yes, we are telling this from the last few sessions, and again we have some giveaways. So if you have not been there for the initial sessions, so these are the giveaways that we have announced, and we have received all of it are there in our store, and we are going to do the giveaways right from the end of this session, will be on 20th onwards. So 20th is the day, 20th July, where we will have some chief guests joining us, and through them we will announce the winners. So keep them coming, do participate. And what are the guidelines? So we are here with some new guidelines. Yes, you have to attend 5 out of 8 sessions. I hope you all are attending it from the day one, and we are keeping a track of it. Secondly, if you have missed any session, so you can go ahead and check the recordings on the YouTube channel, that is Automate Sphere. And second one that you have to do is you have to complete all the Trailhead modules. So people who are there in our WhatsApp group, we have already shared the Trailhead modules on that WhatsApp group through a Excel sheet. So people who are not there in that group and who don't have access to that Excel sheet, do let us know in the chat. We will post the WhatsApp group link, and also we are going to send out an email sharing all the details with all these rules. So if you have missed anything, you can still participate by making sure that you complete all the trailhead modules and you are attending the session. Rule number 3 is LinkedIn activities. So make sure you post on LinkedIn with our official hashtag, because we are tracking your activities on LinkedIn through these hashtags. Aim for Agent Force and hashtag SFMC Mumbai. These two hashtags are very important for us, because we are going to track you only based on these hashtags. If you're not using this hashtag, even if you post it, we won't be able to track you. Next is what all people or whom you need to tag. You have to tag SFMC Mumbai page, official page. Then all the speakers, that is me, Logesh, Pradeep, and Shibu. And then SFMC Mumbai team members, that is me, Bala, Ravi, Lakhan, Salim, Sagar, and Rizwan. So personalized banner post. Yes, this has been pending from a long time, and we are here with the personalized banner post. So now, since you are almost at the end, this is the third week that is going on for this series, and this banner post we have created. So what you have to do is we will sending out an email announcement or WhatsApp group. We will send you the link of the banner. So once you receive the link, once you click on that link, you will get some notification like this: copy document. You'll have to click on make a copy. Once you click on that, okay, let me check why it is not working. Okay, no worries. It will be something like this. Once you click on this, it will ask you make a copy. Click on that, and then it will take you something like this. So this is the sample that we have attached here. All the this template will be ready with everything. You'll have to come. So this is a sample one, and this is going to be the actual one. Okay, so you'll have to come, you have to just click on this replace image, and then you'll have to click on upload from computer. Once you do that, it will ask you to take the photo. You can click select the photo that you want. It can be any photo that you want to select. Let's suppose I'm selecting this. You click on open, and then you can resize this as the way you want. Once you do that, just click on file, download it in the format that you want, and then you can go ahead and post on LinkedIn saying whatever you have learned and whatever you have gained through this series. So that is important. And Sorry, there is. Let me just remove this template because some of the wordings are going out of the context. Yeah. And the last one is assignment and use cases. So yes, I'm working on that use case. The rule number 5 is there are some assignments and use cases. So we are going to make it little easy. Use cases we will give it, and if in case you are not able to solve that use cases, that's fine. You have to at least need to have those two status: agent blazer innovator and is agent blazer champion. So even if you're not able to do the use cases, if you're feeling that is little complex, then you can at least go ahead and complete the agent blazer innovator and agent blazer champion status. So that is what we are planning it. So this is very much important to get eligible for the vouchers. If you have already completed it, well and good, you are still become an eligible, but you make sure you have completed all the 5 rules that we have mentioned so that you become eligible for vouchers and hoodies, because vouchers and hoodies are limited, and we want to make sure that we give it to someone who is following all the guidelines that has been mentioned from day one. Okay. So with that, thank you so much, and I will pass over the stage to Pradeep. If you have any doubts, please feel free to use the chat box. You can post all your doubt in the chat, and I'll be answering. I'll be answering along with my team. So me and my team will be always ready to answer it. Over to you, Pradeep.
Yeah, thank you, Aman. Just 1 second. Let me share my screen here again. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so yeah, so the topic for today is Agentforce custom actions. So as you know, over the past few sessions, you looked into the introduction to Agentforce, and Aman and Lokesh have walked you through the basics. And yeah, there are quite a few aspects that were covered, like the prompt builder, what the detailed look into agent builder, what are the different topics that are available, what are the different things, types of agents that are available, and so on. Today we will look at something called as custom actions. I know I'm sure you have gone through what a topic is, what an action is, what are the core building blocks of an agent. So that's what we will kind of double click into today and try to understand a bit more in terms of some use cases and some examples. Right. So quick introduction about myself. My name is Pradeep. I am working as a Salesforce architect at PwC, and yeah, I have been in the Salesforce ecosystem around since 8 years, and overall IT around 15 years. And I have been a speaker at Dubai Dreaming and TDX in San Francisco, TDX in Bengaluru. In the month of May, I've also been contributing to Hyderabad Salesforce Trailblazer community, meetups and initiatives. And as Aman mentioned, one of the recent agent for specific offerings is the agent blazer status. So the reason I put it up there is just to call to your attention that there are 3 levels now. As an agent blazer levels, it must have been covered already: champion, innovator, and legend. So previously we had this AI associate certification, but that is now decommissioned from Salesforce, and you have to go through complete these Agent Blazer levels, right? So this will give like a full knowledge, and it will kind of guide you through these different levels, starting with the basics, and you will go ahead through the advanced topics. At the moment, I think Legend is still not out, but you have Champion and Innovator levels. That's what Aman was also mentioning, that as part of your hands-on, you should be definitely targeting to complete these. This will give a very good picture of overall agent force, starting from basics and up to creating some agents and kind of proceeding to the advanced levels. Right. So that said, this is what we will be looking at today. We will understand what topics are, what actions are, and then we will look at some of the standard actions available from Salesforce, and yeah, obviously look at creating some custom actions. So what is an action, right? So Agentforce actions, basically an action is how an agent will get some things done, in the sense that it is what the agent does in simple words, right? So if there are no actions, if you go ahead and go to an agent builder, create an agent, but you don't give any actions, it basically does nothing. So a action is what defines the agent can do. So, and then what is a topic, right? Again, this must have been covered in the initial sessions, but topic is just a way of segregating or categorizing what your agent can do, where a topic then defines the agent's purpose, its job, and it kind of establishes some guardrails so that your agent does not just go ahead and answer all sorts of questions. So you can set up the scope and everything. So this is what it is, right? A topic is a particular job that your agent can do. Like for example, contact management, case management. I'm creating an agent, and that agent has a specific task, specific job. You cannot create an agent and kind of put all 10, 15 topics into it and kind of bombard it with hundreds of actions, right? So that is not a good practice of creating an agent. An agent should have a particular job, just one topic. It can be a combination of topics, but it should all make sense, right? It should all work together. So that is how it should work. And the a topic is an essential element of an agent's reasoning, right? So when you're asking an agent something and it is coming up with an action, it is kind of thinking, it is reasoning. The core heart of your Agentforce framework is the Atlas reasoning engine, right? So for that reasoning engine to properly work, you need to define your topics correctly and assign those actions so that then the agent can intelligently look at available topics and actions, kind of chalk out its reasoning and perform its task. So yeah, topics contain actions, as I just said, which are what it does have to do, and then the core thing is the instructions, which will tell the agent how to make those decisions. Okay, I have XYZ number of topics, but and actions, but when to call which one, right? So that is how the agent knows about that with the help of instructions. So this is just a graphic that shows topics, instructions, and actions. And a typical use case, everywhere you see any example, they talk about order management, because that is quite easily understandable and relatable concept, right? So you're kind of reaching out to an e-commerce platform, Amazon or Flipkart, and you're asking about your order status. So what can your agent do then? If as a user you're asking about your order status, you obviously have to provide your order number, but nobody will remember our order numbers, right? Like those are all big numbers. So you can also give your email address. If you give your email, then still the agent should be able to look up and get your order status. And then if you're asking for a refund or a return, should the agent directly go ahead and process the return, or it should also whether somebody has already initiated the return, and uh, and then accordingly it will inform you, right? So all those things are the actions. If you have a order ID, I can get your order. If not, if you are giving me your email address, I can still get your order. If you're talking about returns, first I will look at the return status and I'll inform you if it is already initiated or not. If not, then I can also take an action, not just querying something and giving you the output, but I can also do something on your behalf, right? I can create something. I can create a return label and kind of send it to you via email. You will just print it and push it, send it out as a return. These are all the actions that I can do. As the instructions, again, this is what you're telling the agent, that if the user does this, do this action. If the user asks for this is what you should do, right? So, and then there are certain good practices to write those instructions. So like you have to specify, as Aman mentioned in the couple of prompt builder, prompt template, prompt engineering sessions. So basically there are some good practices. You have to kind of instruct the agent in terms of, for example, always do this, never do that. That will help you establish proper guardrails and proper scope to your agent, so that it does not hallucinate and it does not give unexpected results to the users, right? So that is how you kind of plan up how you build your agent, what it should do. So you should break it down into topics, and then individual actions, and you give kind of connect an actions to your topic by giving those instructions so that they understand when to call which action. Okay, so then there are standard topics and actions, as we all know. Salesforce, um, sorry, just 1 minute, I think there is a little bandwidth issues. If that's okay, I'll turn off my, yeah, let's bring it back again. Hope this is visible.
Yeah, clearly visible.
So standard topics and actions, right? So Salesforce has a bunch of already given us quite a few list of standard topics and actions. And again, as Aman mentioned in one of our previous sessions, it's a it keeps on growing rapidly at a very fast pace. You see a bunch of standard topics today, and next week you log in, there are a few more. Right? Salesforce is kind of adding a lot of capabilities with to Agentforce. Be it the types of prompt templates, be it the types of available standard actions and standard topics. So then, what is a standard topic? As out of the box, it comes with certain standard topics, and you can see some examples. Like for example, general CRM, right? So this is the most commonly used topic within your employee agent. So I think Lokesh covered in one of our previous sessions that there are different types of agents: your employee agent and service agent, agent for setup, and so on. So employee agent you see inside Salesforce as, let's say, a sales rep, right? As an employee, you logged into Salesforce, and you are dealing with account screen, contacts, whatever your standard screens. And the agent that comes in there in those standard screens to help you with various aspects is your employee agent. Whereas a service agent is something that you build and deploy it outside in different channels, like maybe a website or an Experience Cloud portal, or Facebook or WhatsApp. Those is like a service agent. And then agent for setup is something that exists inside your setup screens, which will help your admins with their questions about different objects, profiles, permission sets, and so on. So general CRM is a topic that is a standard topic that can look at various Salesforce related object information, and it has a bunch of actions which we will look at in some time, where it can deal with a lot of frequently asked, activities and actions, which will help the agent to easily answer any user's questions about the Salesforce org. So that is sort of all everything that is related to your Salesforce org. Those questions are in the general CRM topic. And then single record summary is a topic which can summarize a record, and it will give you the AI generated summary for that record. And case management, obviously, there will be a lot of questions about cases, like what is my case status? Can you summarize this case for me? Can you create a case, and so on? All the cases related stuff goes into case management. I mean, these are just a few examples, but there are quite a few standard topics. General FAQ, right? So this is more used inside, I would say, a service agent, because let's say you have an Experience Cloud site or a website, and people are asking questions about, like frequently asked questions are there. For example, your company policy. Are you do you have any promotions? Or are you doing any? What is your refund policy? What's your cancellation policy? What is anything that is related to your company, which can be answered using a knowledge base? You can plug that in a general FAQ using RAG and Data Cloud, and then general FAQ top will help you answer those questions. And object management is the one that I just spoke about, which is the Agentforce for setup. It is more targeted towards admins and developers. You kind of inherit orgs, right? Most of us, generally what happens is it's very rare that you start from greenfield implementations and building from scratch. I mean, there will be, but majority of the cases you will be inheriting some orgs that are been there since many years. And one of our pain points is that trying to understand what each setup item does. For example, what is this profile like? What permissions does it have? What is this permission set? How many users are having this? All sorts of setup related questions. Agentforce for setup is an agent that can help you with those topics. So object management is a topic where all such setup related questions and activities can be handled. So that is also a standard topic that Salesforce has recently introduced. So inside of all of these standard topics, again, there will be standard actions, right? For example, query records. If I am asking about a particular account or a contact or an opportunity or any custom object, query records is a standard action that will be invoked. Summarize record, as the name suggests, you can use it to summarize a particular record. Create case. A lot of case related standard actions are also present. You can add directly a copy to an existing case. And email composition, obviously, any generative AI use cases talk about drafting an email, because that is one of the commonly shown use cases, where you would want to write an email. You have a prompt builder, you have written a prompt, and this action will plug into that prompt, draft that email, and send it out to the user. And answering questions with knowledge articles. This is what I just spoke about in terms of your FAQ topic, where you have knowledge articles already present. Salesforce knowledge is already being used. For example, there are a lot of knowledge articles that you have built over several years, and then Agentforce can quickly go through those articles and answer users' questions automatically using answers questions with knowledge topic action. Right. So these are all the different standard topics and actions that are available. Again, we will see all of these in a demo. And then there is something called next step thing is the custom actions, right? So if any of these existing standard actions is not kind of fitting your use case, you have to build certain customized solution for your agent. That's when, obviously, as the name suggests, custom actions will come into picture, right? So you have to extend, give your agent more capabilities, so you can build your own actions. So what type of actions, right? So at the moment, as we speak, these are the different action types. Again, Salesforce we keep coming up with a lot of new additions, but right now you can create custom actions using Apex code, using flows, using external services APIs. You can directly plug into an API and invoke that API directly. You can use prompt templates and predictive models. So prompt templates based actions also is something like, I mean, we will see all of these in working. I mean, we will definitely see Apex Flow and prompt template. API is like, as I said, you have an external service that you uh, invoke and get a response. You can directly call that. Previously, when I say previously, it is not too old. Like I think even almost until around March or April of this year, you had to write a flow as a wrapper around your API external service and then invoke that flow based action. But I think with TDX, API based action is also in picture. And the predictive model again is more of when you're building your custom models or using the Einstein model engine, you can plug that in, call that. But I am not fully aware. I have not explored that yet. So maybe in a future session we can definitely look at predictive model based custom actions as well. Okay. With that said, we will jump into demo because we are going to cover all of these in detail, and uh, it will be more beneficial if we quickly look at a demo. Okay, so as I said, we will look at primarily the employee agent today. And as an employee agent, I mean this Salesforce agent that is available inside Salesforce org, which will help your employees, your Salesforce users, right? So if I click on Agentforce icon, the default Agentforce employee agent comes up. I think that's what you had until again March or April this year. But the recent addition is that you can create more employee agents also. So I did create one more employee agent. It's called agent for. I mean, this that's just the default name. So I'm switching to that agent because in that agent I have put all my topics that I want to cover today. Okay, so you select that, and employee agent is always context aware, right? So right now I am on the home page, so it is just asking how can I help you. But let's say I click on accounts tab, and on the account list view it understood that I switched to account screen, and it is showing me the context sensitive questions. Because I'm on accounts, it is giving me suggestions that if you want to see the latest updated accounts, I can show you that. It's like a recommended input that it is asking us if you want to select one of these. If I click on contacts, immediately it changes and says, should I show you the last contacts? I mean, created last week and so on, right? Opportunities, again, same thing. It says, I can show you top opportunities, recent opportunities, and so on. So this employee agent is intelligent and context aware. So let's say we are looking at accounts, and I'll ask the agent, maybe let's go on a particular account like Edge Communications, for example. Again the options have changed now because I clicked into a particular account. It again is asking, it is showing even more customized prompts, like I can summarize this account for you, I can show you the top opportunities and so on. I'll say maybe show related opportunities. So what it is doing basically is it is looking at all the available opportunities for this account, and it is going to give me a list of all those opportunities. Okay, so these are the opportunities that are available on this particular account. We can see that from here, related tab, you will see these opportunities, right? So this is what it is kind of showing. But this is, so what is happening, right? How is Agentforce showing this? It is invoking actions behind the scenes. So let us look at this from the agent builder to understand what actions, what standard actions are being called and what is happening. This is Agentforce for setup, as I said, because I'm in setup menu, it kind of popped out and I can ask any setup related questions, but that is a topic for another day, I guess. So let's go to agents. And this is the one Agentforce employee agent that I am talking about that I've just created. I open that in builder. And how do we I'm sure we have covered this in the previous sessions. I'm not going to go in detail about the agent builder itself, but whenever we are interacting with agent builder, it, in the middle canvas, you can see how the agent is working in the backend, right? So what topic it is picking, what actions are being invoked, and how the flow is overall flow is going. So the same question, what I asked here, which is show related opportunities, can I ask here show related opportunities? Probably not, because it does not understand which account I'm talking about, right? Here, from the Salesforce screen, I am on a particular account called Edge Communications. But when I want to invoke the same thing, I can simulate that using this preview option. If I click here, I can edit the preview conditions. Because we are talking about an employee agent, I can simulate that I am on an account tab and I have opened this particular account, and then I can ask account specific questions, right? So object API name, I'll give it as account, and record ID, I'll give the current same Edge Communications account record ID, and I'll click on apply. So now we can see that your preview conditions were applied. You can also see this, the three applied. So some three conditions are applied. And now I can ask context specific questions and Agentforce can respond. So let me ask the same question. I'll say, show me related opportunities for this account. I don't have to specify the account name. I don't have to give the account ID, nothing. I can simply say for this account. Okay, exact same response that we have seen in the front end on the main Agentforce page. I mean, Salesforce record page is the same opportunities, right? So, but how did it get this data? What was the action that was invoked, and what is happening behind the scenes? By C, the topic it selected is a general CRM. As I introduced, that's a standard topic. It will kind of answer any request about all the CRM data. So that's the topic. And first action it invoked is query records, because I asked to show the related opportunities for a particular account. What it has done is it is calling the query records standard object, standard action, sorry, and it framed a query saying that related opportunities for this particular account ID, and in the output, it came up with all the opportunities, right? But how it has basically got this particular results is intelligently it formed a socket query, as you can see that it is fetching the opportunity name where account ID is this, and then order by last modified descending and get me top 50. So that is the socket query it has formed. I did not write this query. It is part of standard action that Salesforce has given. So that's what it has responded me with. There is some issue with my agent builder screen. I have to either collapse or do it so that we can see it fully. But anyway, that is what is happening when a user asks to show the opportunities. It is picking a standard topic and a standard action behind the scenes, right? So now let us look at next level of detail here. Let's say we are still on the same account, same conversation preview. I will now say summarize the top opportunity for this account. So then what happens is essentially something called as action chaining. So Agentforce looks at the General CRM has a bunch of topics. Firstly, let us look at the standard topics that are there. So all of these are standard topics, right? Everything that Salesforce is providing. The one that just executed is the query records standard action. Sorry, I said topics. These are all actions. Yeah, query record standard action is the one that just got executed when it gave me this output, right? So in addition to that, there are other standard actions as well. Depending on user context, it will invoke these actions. And how does it know when to invoke which action? It is all given in the instructions. So your instructions have defined which action to be called in which scenario. When user asking a particular question, call this action and so on. So this is all standard again, nothing I have added. Okay, so now let us ask one more question, which is to summarize. Sorry about this. Okay, summarize the top opportunity for this account, which means it has to do two things. First, you have to figure out which is the top opportunity, and then it has to do a summary for that, right? So let us ask that question. Okay, so now you see that it says the top opportunity for this account is this Edge Emergency Generated 2025, and then it gave me the summary of that particular opportunity. What is its amount? What is the stage, etc., etc. So if you look at in the middle again, topic is still the general CRM topic. Action, the first one is get record. Mm, as opposed to previously it was query records, right? So first one was query records because it has already queried and the data is available in the context. It's not querying for it once again. Then the next action is to summarize a particular record. It intelligently passed this particular record ID because that is the top out of all of the top in the sense highest amount, right? So it has in the JSON, it has the amount also for each opportunity that it has retrieved. It also has the amount field. Or is it here? Let's see. Summarize the top opportunity. General CRM is a topic it has picked up, and in the JSON, you should see the amount. It is 130, and based on that, it has given. If I reapply, if I reinitiate the conversation and ask the same question again, let's say, summarize the top opportunity for this account. Now we will see both actions happening one after the other. That is what we basically call as chaining of actions. Okay, so general CRM, it came up with query records. Yes, this is the query record. This time it is directly asking the query itself to find the top opportunity, right? So if you now see the SOQL query that has been passed, you should see that order by amount, right? So I did not ask it to sort by amount or anything. I just said top opportunity. It understood the context. It means that I have to sort by amount in a descending order and take the first one, limit one. So it has taken the topmost opportunity, and then it passed it to the next action called get record details as an input, and it generated the summary for that, right? And that's the summary that we are seeing. So this is called action chaining, and Agentforce can intelligently do that. So if a particular topic has a couple of actions or more, and the query asked by the user involves a combination of invoking these actions one after the other, Agentforce can intelligently do that as long as you kind of provide the instructions telling which action is supposed to do which particular job. Then it can chain them in the sense that put them in a sequence that, okay, I'm going to call this action first and then subsequently call the next action. Okay, now let us look at this opportunity that it just summarized. Right, so this is the opportunity 2025 generator. So all of these fields are there, and it has certain products, it has a contract attachment. So if you see the summary, it says, yeah, this is the data about this opportunity. It has certain products, and additionally there is an attachment which is a contract. But that is not okay. Let's also look at the PDF of the contract. So it has some, contract overview. It has some products in there. It has some terms and conditions, what has been agreed between the customer and the company, who is responsible for what, and who has signed the contract. So all of this information is there in the contract. But when I asked it to summarize, it just said that there is an attachment. That's it. It did not basically give me the summary of the contract itself, right? So that way, it is a little limited in terms of what this action has done in terms of summarizing this particular. So this is where we will build custom actions, right? So as we said, custom actions are available or needed, or basically we can use them when we want to extend the capability, add our own logic, our own requirement functionality to solve our own requirement, right? So that is where we are going to do create custom actions. So uh, go to setup. So what sort of a custom action it is, right? So because as I said, there are quite a few types of actions. Which one is going to suit here, right? We will look at a prompt template based custom action. Okay, so let us go to prompt builder, and let's create a new custom prompt template, which is a field generation or a flex, doesn't matter here, because we are not going to populate that using a field generation process that Aman showed in one of our previous sessions. But maybe I can still select field generation, that's fine. I'll call it opportunity summarizer, maybe, right? I can give it a description. And which object we're talking about? We're talking about the opportunity object. Which field you want to summarize? I created a custom field called summary on there. But as I said, it doesn't matter. I can also go with a flex template. That is still fine. Okay. So now what I have to do, I have to just ask it to summarize this opportunity for me, right? So I have a prompt that I have captured here. Okay. I just wanted to say that summarize the opportunity, and I can add input resources as we have seen the other day. If I click on opportunity, it gives me all the fields, right? So I can give it all the fields. I need the summary. In my summary, I need the name, I need the revenue, the lead source, everything, right? So if I keep selecting all of these fields, I will end up adding 20, 30, 50 fields, or even 100 fields, whatever number of fields that I want. And that's not a very efficient way of adding fields onto a prompt. I mean, it is still needed in certain cases where I only am looking at a couple of fields. But when I want to generate a summary across a lot of fields that are present on the object, I can simply select this thing called record snapshot. Okay, the first most option, that the topmost option that we have, is called a record snapshot. I can select that. So I can just say summarize the opportunity using the information available in this particular opportunities record snapshot. So that way, I don't have to specify every single field. But how does Salesforce know which fields we are talking about when I say snapshot? If you hover your mouse, you will see that a record snapshot is all the data that is available on the current running user's page layout for this object. So it is again secure also. If a particular sales rep does not have access to all the fields, they only have access to 10 fields, let's say, the snapshot will include only those 10 fields belonging to the current running user's page layout. Okay, because I'm a system admin right now, I have all the fields that I just saw in the page layout. So it will include all the fields in the summary. And the good thing is it will also include any related lists. So I don't have to write any additional code to include data from related objects as well. So as long as that related list is present in my current page layout, like this, the products, for example, it will include that data also in the summary generated. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I'll just do save and preview and see how it goes, right? Yeah, I have to obviously give the opportunity name here. I'll say Edge Generated 2025 and then preview. Okay, so now if you see, it has given me the opportunity details, and the summary included all the fields. I didn't specify one single field, but it has brought up all the necessary information that is there. And then it says still that there is a contract document attached to this opportunity, but it is not giving me the summary of the contract document itself, even though it is present in the page layout here, right? So let's see how we can refine it further. Um, as again Aman mentioned, a prompt is output is only as good as your input, right? So the better input you give, the better output you will get. So let us look at, let's say I'll add this one more instruction. I'll say include clear headings, sections, and use rich text formatting where applicable. Okay. And the next one is, sometimes what it does is it just kind of prints out all the fields as a field name, field value. I don't want that. I want a proper paragraph. So I'm specifying that also in my input. And I also wanted to summarize the contract document, right? That is present as an attachment on the page layout. So I'll say also summarize the contract document which is present in the attachments, and I have to give a reference to that attachment. I'll go to resource again, I'll go to opportunity and related, sorry, attachments. Yeah, combined attachments is what it is called, or notes and attachments. That's fine. You click on that, it includes that related list and it has the combined attachments. So this will kind of, you have refined the prompt, you added some more instructions, you are asking it to give some clear headings, and then also asking to summarize the PDF itself which is present here. Okay, now let us take a look at. We will run into an error mostly because the model, I'm not sure which one we have selected. No, it's good. I think which model is there? Okay, this is good. This model is looking at PDFs as well, right? So yeah, there you go. Now if you see, you have like your highlighted rich text formatting is there, and it is actually looking at into your contract PDF document also, and it is summarizing the content of that PDF. It is talking about what terms and conditions are there, what is the due date of the payment, whose responsibility is what, and who has signed it, right? Like who is the signatures, like basically at the end of the contract, basically looking at the entire document and came up with this full summary. This is what like an account manager who is looking at Salesforce would want to understand. They don't want to click through the different related lists, on an opportunity and understand what it is, click through the attachment, read through everything. But this prompt is giving me the necessary information in one go, looking through the PDF as well, right? So some models do not support looking into the PDF attachments. I think for now, Omni Mini, this is fine. If you try with GPT 4.1 Mini or something, it will throw an error. It says it's not supported. Uh, and save and preview. Output version will obviously vary a bit, but then that will also be able to generate your PDF summary. Okay, so here it is: opportunity summary, opportunity operational details. What are the products included? Google has given a bit more detailed version, including the product details as well, and then your contract itself, the PDF summary itself, key terms and conditions, who has signed, etc. So all of this, probably it's all about individual customer's choice, right? Which they prefer more, they can go with that particular model. Let's use this one for example, and then I will activate this prompt template. So all I have done so far is only, we have built the prompt, output is fine, but how do we plug it into the agent builder? So I built a prompt. Now I have to create an action, custom action, right? So go back to agent builder, bring up the topic screen, go into general CRM. Right now, this summary, which is not so good, right? So this summary has been generated using a topic called, sorry, using an action called get record details, right? So I'm going to remove that topic now because I don't need that topic, that action for summarizing. I will need my own action. So let me remove the get record details action. So you can go here, click on, oh, first you have to deactivate because it is active right now. You cannot edit it. So let us deactivate it. And then you can edit it, right? So let me remove this get record details from this topic. And now I want to add my own custom action. This is how we create a custom action, right? Create new action from here. There is one more way of creating from the setup screen. If you want to first set up all your actions and then come into agent builder, you can do that as well. I'll quickly show that. I won't create that. But the screen is called Agentforce Assets. So here again, all the topics and actions are listed. standards and custom. Uh, these are all the standard, I mean, topics. This is action screen. This also has all the standard topics and custom topics and standard actions and custom actions. I can create an action from here also, but first let us do it from the agent builder itself, right? So go here, new, create a new action. What type it is? It's a prompt builder, prompt template based. Which prompt template? Opportunity summarizer. The name is fine. Go on next. In the prompt template, when we have just seen the summary or a preview here, right? So we have given it an input while we are running the preview. We have given edge generator as an sample input to see the output. But from an action, how do you pass the input? This is what it is, right? Input opportunity. Okay, you can customize the loading text first. Let us give summarizing opportunity. So this is the text that shows up while it is running in the background. And then what is the input, right? So this is the opportunity record that needs to be summarized. And I have to collect this from the user, right? Um, which means that it is an input, but you're not going to get it as part of some other action or something. It is something that user has to explicitly give you. So that's what it means. You have to collect this from the user. And which language you want. I think we can leave it as it is. I mean, default is English. So this is fine. And the output is what it is, right? The actual summary of the opportunity that the prompt is giving me. I have to change this and give the proper meaning of what this is, right? So this is the summary of the opportunity. And I have to show it in my conversation, which means I have to show it to the end user, right? So I have to select this checkbox. So input and output has been defined, and loading text is also defined. So I can click on finish. Action is here. It should be, there it is, opportunity summarizer. Is that enough now to go ahead and run it? No, right? We also have to instruct the agent when this action. I have an action, that's fine, but I have to include an instruction when to call this opportunity summarizer action. So for that, I have a sample instruction that I have written here. Go back to the topic, go to instructions in the topic configuration. At the end, I will add an instruction which says, use this particular action to summarize an opportunity. And then not just summarizing, we are going one step ahead and asking to ask the user if they want to populate that summary on the opportunity record itself in a custom field, the summary field, right? So that is also we are saying in the instruction. Ask the user if they would like to populate that summary on this custom field on the opportunity. That's what I want, right? Save it. So we can either way, we can see it directly on the front end, or we can see it in the agent builder also. But let's see in the agent builder because we want to see which action is being called. So let me change the context here in the agent builder. I will reapply my preview conditions. This time I'm directly on the opportunity object. And this is the edge communications, that opportunity ID, and apply. Okay. So with this background applied, I will now ask it to summarize this record. That's it. It should bring up the custom loading text. That's the custom loading text summarizing opportunity. And then it is running the particular action, which is based on a prompt template. See, this is the full summary that we have just seen in the prompt builder also. It has all the terms and conditions, the PDF analysis as well, in addition to the actual record summary. And it is also asking me, would you like to update the summary field with this information? Right? I can say yes. But I have not put any actions to update the opportunity record, right? I didn't put in my prompt, it's only giving an output. I did not specify how it should actually update the summary field, isn't it? But there is a standard action for that. So Salesforce will be able to do that. So before directly updating the field, it will ask for our confirmation. So it sort of comes up with a small pop-up and says, hey, this is the field, this is the summary I'm going to stamp in this field. Are you okay to do that? If we confirm, only then it will update. See? So it says, can I proceed with updating the summary field with this particular summary? You can click on confirm, then it will update the opportunity summary. If I go on this record and refresh the page, I should see that entire summary is updated in the summary custom field. There's only a text field, that's why it is showing like that. If you change it to rich text, it will properly appear with the proper formatting. Okay, what actions have executed in the backend? Firstly, when I ask it to summarize, it called my custom action, which is the opportunity summarizer. It's a prompt-based action. It has passed the opportunity ID as an input, and the output, the entire prompt response, the full response gave by Google Gemini AI, I mean Google model LLM. It has taken and it has showed to the user, and it asked the user whether I want to update the record. When I said yes, the next topic is still general CRM, but the next action is a standard action called extract fields and values from user input. So it is all a standard functionality that Salesforce has built. It will then prepare this sort of a summary for us based on the current discussion, current conversation context. It will prepare this summary, and then it is asking whether I should go ahead and update it or not. When I said yes, it went ahead and updated the record on the opportunity. So what we have seen is a combination of standard topic, standard actions, and custom actions. You can always also do custom topic and then add standard actions into it. So there is no limitation in that how we are going to add your topics and actions. You can have a standard topic, in that standard actions and custom actions, and you can create totally custom topic, and in that custom topic you can add a combination of standard and custom actions. So it's no you can do either way what you want. End of the day, what you want to achieve your requirement, if using a combination of different things that are available, standard and custom, you can definitely do that, right? So this is how you customize, create custom actions based on a prompt template. We will now look at custom actions using Flow and Apex. But before that, Aman, I just want to take a quick pause and see if you want to take a break or anything you wanted to add or any questions or anything.
Yes. So here we will have a break of 5 minutes
Okay.
if everyone needs a break. So we'll take a break of 5 minutes, and we will. So we have a lot of questions, Pradeep. What we will do is we
Yeah.
will take all the questions at the end so that
Sure.
we cover everything. After that, we will take the questions.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I would request everyone to please turn off their camera. Abhishek, I know you are enjoying the ride, but please turn off the camera. Thank you.
आकाश ने त्यांनी चालू केलं राईट करत होता तो. हे हा हा दुसरा हो.
Ashish, please unmute yourself. Okay, thank you. I'll just turn on the timer. Please be back after 5 minutes, everyone. Okay, great. So I hope everyone is back from the short break and we are good to get started. So let's get started. Pradeep, are you ready?
Yeah, just a second.
Okay, so we have 60 odd people still there. So that means we are going good.
Okay, yeah, let's get started then. So the next thing that we will look at is I'll also bring up my screen in a minute. Basically, the next custom actions that we will look at is creating custom actions using Flow and Apex, right? So I built a sample flow. It is, sorry, I thought I shared my screen. 1 minute. It's a very small flow. I mean, it's just to show how we can add actions using Flow and Apex. But obviously, depending on your requirements, you may have already a lot of existing auto launched flows, and you can use those as actions, so that all the automations that you have built that are happening in the backend, you can give those capabilities to your agents, so that it will perform those actions on your for you, right? So the way auto launcher flows work, I mean, if you create a flow and you define its actions, you define the logic in the flow, and you have some inputs and outputs. So those inputs and outputs, input of a flow and output of a flow, is mapped to your agent actions, right? So I created one small flow, as I said, just as an example. Let's go to this account screen, look at the same account, edge communications, and bringing up the agent. Yeah, now it shows the default agent because I think I've deactivated it. Let me reactivate again. Refresh. You should see in the drop down the second employee agent, which is the one that I just created. So how can we, just as a small point, I think I have seen a couple of questions there, right? So how can we create more and make it available is from the agents. If you see, some of the orgs may not be having, if it is an old org probably, but in the recent orgs you should see that ability to create more employee agents. You can spin up a new developer edition org. It comes with Agentforce and Data Cloud anyway, so you can try it there. So if you click on new agent, see Agentforce employee agent also as available as one of the available types of agents, right? So employee agent is what internal user facing agent, as I just said. So you can create this, you can create topics, actions, you can activate it. But how do you make it available to the user is via permission sets, right? So I created one permission set. Uh, It is called, you can just give any name. I think I gave it grant agent access or something. Grant employee agent access. It can be any permission set, new or existing, doesn't matter. Similar to your access, like object access, Apex class access, VF access, there is something called agent access at the end. Okay. So you go in here and select which agents you should be giving access to as part of this permission set. Here I have given my new agent, new employee agent, rather than the default one. And I assign this permission set to my own user. That's why I'm seeing one more employee agent in the dropdown, right? So you can do that. And the use case here is that some topics and actions are only applicable to certain users, right? So I don't want everything to be available to all users. So then I can further segregate that, and based on the security, based on the apps, there may be a lot of custom apps, a lot of users in your org. So based on who should see which agent capabilities, you can channel that. You can have dedicated agents, assign permission sets, and assign that to users, so that only users who are supposed to see an agent will see that in the dropdown. So that you can do. So now this particular account, right, this edge communications, as a sales rep, I want to visit this account. And of course there are a lot of business use cases where maybe there is a customer visit, like in a field service, or you have to go there and kind of do some installation or something, right? So I want to visit this customer. So before visiting that, I want to understand how the weather condition is, because the installation is outdoors or whatever, right? So if I ask what is the weather here tomorrow, then your agent will not be able to answer that, because obviously it doesn't have all that information. It is the only topic that is available is a general CRM, and it can only answer Salesforce questions, related questions. So what I have done is I have built Apex, basically an API call out to Google Search, and it will then call, not Google Search, it is Gemini, right? Google Gemini AI. So there is an API that we are making a call out to, and you can pass basically any question, and it is as good as asking that question in the Google Gemini front end, like ChatGPT or Gemini, right? So you can invoke that search from inside Salesforce by making an API call out. So for that, I have just registered like a developer account and got a key and did a REST API call out. So there is a code for that, which will basically make an API call. You will include Google search in it, and it will get the response. So I took this as an example to show how we invoke, Apex based custom actions, right? So this is an Apex class. All it has to do, it has to have, is an invocable method for it to be available as an Apex action, as an agent action. It needs to have an invocable method, and it needs to have a clear description as to what it is doing. And then this class is available in your agent, similar to how you can have invocable methods in flows and so on. Same thing. The prerequisite is that it has to have an invocable method, and then basically a list of inputs, list of output, everything is the same. And yeah, there is the actual call is basically a REST API call to the Gemini endpoint. This is the endpoint, and it will generate your response. And then you have to we are parsing that response and displaying it to the user. I think Salesforce, one of the documentations has this code. I can share that link also maybe tomorrow. But yeah, this is what we are actually calling in our agent, right? One method, it has an input, which is the user's prompt. Output is whatever Google is returning as an output. So we can plug that in. We will create a custom action using this Apex class as a Apex based custom action, and invoke that and empower this agent to kind of look up online and give results in real time, right? So that is the Apex action. I also created one small tiny flow just to cover the flow based actions as well, which is when I'm saying what is the weather here tomorrow, I just wanted to look at the particular account's address as zip code, so that I'll give the local weather rather than just giving weather across full state of Texas or even full city of Austin. I want a specific zip code based address weather. So I created one small flow. I mean, we can obviously include that in Apex itself, but just to show you how flow-based actions are invoked, I created one small flow, which is just getting account zip code. The flow itself is nothing. It is querying on the account record, retrieving the zip code and returning it back, right? Two steps: query, assign to a variable, and send it out. So this flow has two variables, input and output. Input is my account ID, output is my zip code, right? So for this, I have to create an agent action. So let us now create it from the asset screen. You can create it from anywhere. You can create from Agent Builder also, as I said, but let us now do it from the Agentforce asset screen. Go to actions, create a new action. What type of action? We have seen prompt template. Now we are going to do flow. It's a flow based action. Which flow it is? The small flow that I created, which is get account zip code. I leave the action name also the same. It's fine. And here is where we have to give the instructions a bit detailed. If you've already given some descriptions at a flow level, it will basically carry it forward here, but you can tweak it and add more you want as you want. The actual instruction is query an account and return the zip code. I will probably change it a bit. Use this action to query account, or use this action to get zip code of an by querying the account record, right? And loading text, I can leave default, or I can also say fetching zip code as my first loading, right? And this account ID is again, it is fetching these instructions default. It is fetching from the flow level input descriptions. When I declared the input variable in the flow, I have given some description that is coming here. I can leave it or I can tweak it. This is fine ID of the account, but this is required, and I have to collect it from the user, right? And the output is a billing zip. This is the zip code of the account. That is also fine. I have to show it in. I don't have to. I think I have to show because that's the only output. Yeah. show it in the conversation. The text output is a text. I don't know why it comes in this Japanese language or whatever, but basically it is text. Sometimes it happens. That's fine. Finish. So this is one agent action. The other agent action I need is now another action using Apex class, right? So I'll create one more right from here. This time the type is Apex. What is the Apex class? Basically not class, but this label will show, which is invoke Google search. I have to look for that in my drop down here. Yeah, it's invocable method and it is invoke Google search. I can leave the name as it is. Same thing, inputs and outputs. What is an input here on the Apex code? Your user prompt is the input, right? So I have to map the user prompt with, okay, loading text letters customize. I'll say looking up on Google. That is what it will show as a user, like a loading text to the user. Instructions, this is the input query asked by the user to perform Google search. This is required. I have to collect it from the user. Response metadata is actually the Google AI Gemini AI output contains two outputs. One is the full JSON, and then from the full JSON, I'm parsing looking at the only text response text that I want. So the two parts are returned in the output. The entire metadata is returned, and also the text part is returned. So you will see two outputs here. Sorry. Yeah. So response metadata is the full JSON response from Gemini, or I'll just say Google search. But I don't want this to be shown in the in the front end. I will not select this show in conversation. In fact, I can also filter this from agent action. I don't want this is an output from my action. That doesn't mean it has to be an output in the my agent also, right? Not every output my action returns need to be displayed or need to be even used. I don't need to use this also, but this is what I want. This is the output from Google search to be displayed to the user, right? So this definitely I have to show in conversation. One at least one of your outputs you have to have show in conversation checkbox selected. Otherwise, it will not allow you to save your action. So this is what I'll have it as a show in conversation and finish it. Okay, now my custom actions are ready, flow-based action and Apex-based action. So I can go back to my agent builder and add it in the agent builder. So yeah, here it is. Again, deactivated, so I have to make changes to it. Same topic I can still use, or I can create another topic. For now, it is fine. It's just one instruction. But if it has having a lot of other totally different concept or totally different area, subject area, you better to create a different topic. But for now, I'll just leave it here and add the action. Here, I should not do a new action because I already created it. I just have to add it, right? So I'll select add from asset library. Two actions. One is zip code wala. Where is it? Maybe I have to refresh this once. Yeah. Account zip code. Other one is Google search. Okay. I'm adding these two custom actions in my agent. You can see them both added here. Get account zip code and invoke Google search are here. Now I have to add an instruction for this particular for this particular action. Sorry. So go at the end and I'll add one more instruction. And this says when user asks for weather forecast, it can basically be anything, but weather is what I'm for now looking at. First, get the account zip code by calling the action get account zip code. Then, based on the user's request, you have to form a query to the Google search engine to get weather forecast. For example, what is the weather forecast for tomorrow at so and so zip code? Pass this input query to this particular input. User prompt is the input action. Input in this action to get the weather forecast details from Google. That's the instruction that I have given. So it is like basically you have defined certain methods, and you're telling a new developer in your team saying that okay, to get this output you have to call this class, this method, pass this as the input, right? Like how you instruct somebody, you have to instruct your agent as well. Okay, that's done. Now activate it. Go back here and refresh. We're on an account. Okay, yeah. So I'll just say same question as I asked earlier. What is the weather here? I'm not even specifying the account name and all. It's context based. What is the weather here tomorrow? So you can see first fetching zip code, then looking up on Google. It is chaining both the actions. There it is. That's the full weather that you got. Here is the weather forecast for tomorrow in this particular zip code, Austin, Texas, and 13th July. And this is the uh, full weather forecast that it has given, right? So let us just once quickly run this in the agent builder as well, just to see the actions that are being invoked. I think it is on opportunity. Let me change it back to account. So here, when I say what is the weather like here for the next week, I can ask, not just for tomorrow, right? That is also fine. First fetches a zip code and then looks up on Google. So that's your entire week's weather forecast. Day by day breakdown, whatever, right? So if you look at the canvas, the topic is the same topic, but then it first called the flow based action, which is get account zip code. Input is the account ID, and output is the billing zip. So it executed that particular flow and it got the output. In the next action, because it is looking at our instructions and it has formed the query question because based on our instruction. It says what is the weather forecast for the next week. That's what I asked. Previously I asked for tomorrow, then it intelligently picked the word tomorrow from my question, but now I'm saying next week. It is picking the same context, next week, and the zip code is basically the output of this previous action that it has included here in this question, and it has called that next action. So I did not, had it been Apex code, then you have to have string concatenations and all those things, right? Like what is the weather forecast for plus, and then you have to add your zip code from the previous method's output and so on. But here the agent is doing that for you. It is passing that entire prompt as a input to your Google search. It came back with the response. And out of that, the Apex class is actually passing the response. I don't want the full JSON, lot of other supporting data. I just want the text part of it. Extracted that, and that's the output that we defined in the Apex-based agent action to show in conversation checkbox. Out of two outputs, I only selected the checkbox for one output. So that is what is being actually displayed here in the in the conversation to the user, right? So that is how we create Apex based custom actions. So then Flow and Apex is basically a combination of all the different automations that you can invoke and that you already have in your org. For example, there are a lot of Apex classes that you have built for different automations. You can look to reuse that, create invocable methods, and use that in your Apex actions, agent actions, and add it to your agent builder. Right? So yeah, that is how you create these custom actions. And then one more thing is the security part that also has, Logesh has covered in one of the previous sessions. It's just that the employee agent, right? Like as I said, I just touched upon it in the prompt builder a bit, that the record snapshot is only looking at current users' page layouts and giving you a snapshot summary. In the same way, the employee agent itself, overall, the internal employee agent, it runs in the context of the current user, right? So whoever is the current user, in this case, I'm a system admin. So this system admin, whatever access this particular profile has, it can only include that particular data in its actions, in its secure. Basically, let's say if I ask him to summarize the standard summarize action, it can only include fields that I have access to. Similarly, if I have an Apex based action, and I am assigning it to a user, like not system admin, but somebody like a sales rep profile is running that action. If they do not have access to that Apex class, it will fail. Your agent action will not run. So you have to include that particular Apex class that I have just shown, right? So this Apex class need to be added to a permission set ideally, and then that user should have access to that Apex class to run that particular Apex class. Normally, like how you would in your normal implementations, you have to have that permission. Only then your employee agent can access that class and fetch the output. If that user does not have access to the Apex class, it will fail, right? So while testing in the agent builder, it might work because as a developer, as a system admin, you will run it and it will work fine. But for end user perspective, for them to be able to run it, you have to make sure that the user is having access to that to a particular classes, flows, fields, whatever you are using basically. On the other hand, a service agent, each service agent, as again we have seen in previous sessions, each service agent will have its own dedicated user, and that user record will be created as soon as you create a service agent, and that user will also have its own permission set auto created by Salesforce, and it is auto assigned to that user, and you have to make sure that that permission set is having the necessary access. So you go in that permission set and give the Apex class access or whatever is needed, so that that particular action will that particular service agent will work correctly based on the permissions defined in that particular specific user that has been created, and that will be the common user for everybody who is invoking the service agent. But whereas an employee agent, each user, it is running in the current running user's context, so each user will see varied results depending on what they have access to. Okay, so that is the security aspect of it. I think that basically concludes the different topics that I wanted to cover today in terms of standard and custom actions and different types of custom actions. So yeah, I think I'll pass it back to Aman, and of course we can take any questions or any wrap up items, and tomorrow we can look at the variables and filter part of it.
Great. Thank you so much, Pradeep, for covering everything in so detail. I mean, everything was so crisp and clear. We made it very interesting. We had a lot of questions in the chat, but we tried to answer it. Like even Logesh and Shibu were answering it. So great to see that speakers are joining us along with like the sessions who had hadn't happened. They also have joined us. So thank you so much, Logesh and Shibu, joining us today. And we have covered all the questions. There is one question that we need to cover, Pradeep. I think that is the second last and last question, if you can see in the chat. When we continue adding a mix of standard and custom actions, is the agent able to warn us if there are any conflicting topics and prompt us to choose the best option? Any roadmap?
Mm, I can't answer about the roadmap part because that should probably come from Salesforce. But on conflicting, right, agent will not warn us. It's basically on us to make sure that we are not confusing it with conflicting information, right? So if you, that is where we Agentforce testing center will come into picture, where we can invoke a lot of, you can basically bring in a lot of test cases to see with different utterances, with different variations of the input, what are the different outputs that are that your agent is giving, so that during the development phase with these multiple test scenarios,